Hey, Build Show, coming at you from my shop here in Minnesota. We had a really cool job recently for Honey Plumbing Heating where we replaced some old 60-plus-year-old cast iron pipe. We had a lot of cool tools involved. It was a very efficient kind of process that we've kind of honed down, and not unlike other videos in this category, it got a little gross, a little smelly, and then maybe a little entertaining. So that's today's video for the Build Show, replacing some old cast iron pipe, seeing the tools that go into it, and I hope you find it both informative and entertaining. Have a good one.
I'm anticipating this pipe is gonna be full of toilet paper and waste. It's gonna be pretty gross. Ready?
Yes.
All right, we're in a 1960s built home here in central Minnesota. We've got a cast iron horizontal building drainer main here coming off of a back-to-back bathroom group. We've got DWV copper we're gonna be reattaching to. If everything goes well, what we will be doing is pulling out this old service weight bell and spigot cast iron pipe, replacing it with plastic, and attaching it to this existing before it goes out of the building. It's so cheap and easy and relatively fast to do something like this versus cleaning up the problem that you can create.
Yeah, this 10 minutes will save you 3 hours.
I'll probably rip these putting them on. I always do. Never need to see that again. How's it look? The pipe is split all the way across the top here. It's created quite a mess in the basement, and of course it needs to be replaced regardless. It's probably been split for a little while, but they had a backup. They discovered that it had broken at that point in time over this end of last week. So we're just a couple days in prep here. We've got some plastic down. We're trying to protect everything. We're gonna haul everything out of here, small pieces at a time. We've got Rob here helping, and of course we're gonna just try to get this on camera and just share kind of a day in the life of what we're gonna do on these kinds of jobs. You ready, Rob?
Yes.
Let's try that. It's all about where the chain grips or where it tightens onto itself. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're tighter now. I think. Hit that button.
Oh, that's on. That's on.
Got it. If this chain snapper works for all of the cuts, we will have saved ourselves money and time and spatter. Yeah. I'm trying to avoid the spatter most of all. Probably weighs about 20 pounds only, but. Oh my God, the smell. I wish everybody watching at home could smell this. Ready?
Yes.
Oh. Oh my gosh, it's so intense. I'm just trying to. It's like it gets trapped in the mass.
Yeah.
You're tough, dude. I've been doing this for 30 years and it's bothering the crap out of me. No? Yep. Ah, sprays so much stuff. Yeah. You want to smell it?
I smell it.
You can smell it. Yeah, I can smell it. It's totally cool.
There it goes. You might not even need that other cut.
Here, I got it over here.
Your screwdriver?
Right here. Yeah, I think we did.
Okay.
Nice. What a pro. I'm just gonna spray until I don't feel like spraying anymore. This sprayer, this is the MVP right here. Holy crap. It's the best sprayer I've ever owned. All right, so these older houses have the DWV copper in them from the 60s. We're not replacing it. We're in totally good shape. Nothing is bad about that. We were able to remove the hub, as you can see from here, and we call these a Fernco or a Mission. Those are brand names, but we're gonna use this mechanical coupling, the shielded coupling, and it has a, let me pull this out. It has a rubber neoprene, I don't know what this is, rubber we'll call it. Coupling inside of it that's sized to fit the 3-inch copper, okay? 3-inch copper is not the same size as plastic or steel or cast iron, okay? So that goes on there like that. We have the shield, it'll get on there. It's got 2 hose clamps. These need to be loosened up, all that kind of stuff. And then we can adapt to plastic here. So we'll go with Schedule 40 PVC, 3-inch, and we will be able to go that direction. I think, though, now that I look at the fittings that I brought, we may need to make a shift gears on that. We might not have the elevation I need. I'm just actually figuring that out as we're talking. The other side over here on the 4-inch is going to be, we call these a donut. This is also Fernco, and this fits in the hub of the pipe and allows us to insert pipe into it, and it makes the seal there. And it's adapt from the service weight cast iron to, this is sized specifically for Schedule 40 PVC. So these are specific, they're not generic, they're bought in different configurations for the size pipes that you're transitioning from one to the next. So that's our next step. Today's Come Ride With Me video is a recruitment video for being an electrician. I don't really have a good way that I know of to do this other than with a specific product called Black Swan or Geico. We're gonna put some lube on this, some grease, silicone grease. Push it in there like so. Look at that. Whew. Honestly, I hope I'm not jinxing myself, but that was the part I was worried about the most. That exact part. And that went in so nice. It feels tight. Rob says he's on his way back. But that just went better than I thought it was gonna go. So for anybody watching, in Minnesota, we have to use purple primer. We are not allowed to use the UV or clear. We are required by code to continue to use the purple. So in case you spill it, it doesn't get everywhere and ruin everything, because it's not, doesn't have a visible, you know, it's not purple. So we're just checking it right here. See that bubble? You check the face of it. You could check this. It's not as reliable, but it still shows pitch under my finger there. Quite a bit of pitch. So we're good. How good? I'm just kidding. It's like this movie montage. Keep that pipe straight. I think we're all picked up over there. For all the technology, the technological advancements, we're still back just using hose clamps to put pipes together. There we go. We have a new sewer line. Okay, so we've got the job completed now. You can see everything's in place. Our supports or hangers we got in. Let's just walk through kind of the whole thing here. So we started by supporting this piping here, which we can now take off the temporary straps. Those are galvanized straps, so I don't want to leave them on that copper. I'll be pulling those out. We'll leave it alone. We've got support basically at the base of this stack as well as we can here with this hanger, this clevis style hanger. We've transitioned from copper to Schedule 40 PVC with this shielded coupling that's made specifically to do that exact transition. Added our clean out for the horizontal directional change. This just allows us to clean out this line in the future if needed without having to pull a toilet, because we don't want to have to pull a toilet for access to clean out, if possible. So then we've got the supports here. They're 32 inches apart. We've got support there on that 4-inch from the wall, so we're pretty good there. And we transition over to the 4-inch service weight hubbed fitting with this donut. So a couple things we have to consider when we get started with this job overall. Clean up. We need to keep everything clean as possible while we're doing the job, and then as we go, we need to clean up the dirty stuff. So you saw we had poly out. We did our cutting. It made quite a mess. Took off our suits, threw those away, cleaned up the poly, cleaned up the floor, disinfected, that kind of thing. We're not totally clean here, but I'll sweep and be done. And when I leave, it'll be cleaned up and cleaner than when I got here. A couple things that we have to anticipate beyond the cleanup and just the grossness of all of it. Safety equipment. We had the suits on. That's just to protect us from getting spatter on our clothing. Even those cheapo suits go a long ways. I need to know the very specifics on the sizing of this coupling, the sizing of that donut down there, because those, you get one shot at them. There's not an alternative. They have to fit. So I need to have a couple extras here just because there's some variations in piping systems, that kind of thing. And then we need to, what could go wrong, kind of those anticipation things, where the support of that piping and then getting that donut and that 4-inch put together. It's always tricky to me. I've never felt real comfortable doing that because I've had jobs where I struggle like crazy. And then we have a job like today where it just went in nice and clean. We've tested it by flushing the toilets upstairs, running water, and we've got no drips. We're all good to go. So all in all, pretty straightforward. It took us, by the time we leave today, we'll probably be 3.5 hours from the time we arrived. That's respectable. It's not a ton of pipe that we had to do here, but methodical and just kind of keeping everything moving without backtracking and without ruining any of the property. And honestly, just thankful I didn't have to do this over top of like a drop ceiling or a carpeted floor or things like that, because then you start getting nervous, and that's when we start making mistakes. But pretty straightforward. We've got a code compliant repair here. This will outlast the house. I mean, it's likely that copper piping and stuff will have to be replaced at some point in time, but this won't need to. And even if it does, it's easy to pull out, a lot easier than the cast iron. So yeah, I think it went pretty well. Thanks for watching, guys. If you thought this was interesting, please share it. Hit like, subscribe so you know when the next videos come out. My name is Eric Awney. I'm a master plumber here, licensed in the state of Minnesota. I want to thank Rob, my cousin, who is here helping me out today just to get some hands-on and help me catch those dirty, nasty pipes as they fell. And watch our channel for more content like this. Have a good day.